Cancer. Hi, thanks for being here. I'm happy to be pulling cards for you for June. This is your June reading. Good for whenever you find it in June. Or, you know, even if it's not June anymore and this title's drawn you in, there's probably something in the reading for you. It's a general reading. I'm not pulling cards on any one particular area of life. Whatever comes up in the energies is what comes up. To a certain extent, it's for you to take what I'm saying about the energies and apply it to your own life as you see fit. So for you, that might apply to spirituality, family, friends, love, relationships, personal development, career, finances. If I do see any obvious messages coming through that seem to relate to one area of life, I will say so. That does sometimes happen. It's collective Cancer energy that I'm pulling on, so not necessarily every single message is going to be for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Use your intuition. Yeah, your intuition is much more important than anything I can say, and in a sense I kind of do hope these readings sort of spark off your own intuition. Okay, I've got an oracle card for you out straight away. Watery card for a watery sign. I've got a feeling I've pulled this card for you before recently. You already have all the answers. It's true. It's true. These cards, whatever I say, can't give you the answers. It's within you. Yeah, by all means, watch these readings, because sometimes what is said in these readings can help. Your own gut reaction to what is said can help you know what's right for you. But yeah, I mean, I love it. Switch off now. Switch off now, Cancer. You don't need the rest of the reading. No, look, I'm sure there will be something come up in the reading that's helpful for you. But also it's about like those little synchronicities, isn't it? What comes up in these cards I find is often is little synchronicities that just let you know the universe is on your side. That's the other reason I do these readings, really, is to give the opportunity for you to experience those. Yeah, okay. This may be literal travel for some of you. Some of you may have travelled or about to travel. I mean, it's June. If you're in the UK, then a holiday is likely anyway. But it could mean that literally for some of you. But you know, I guess it's about travelling within yourself. It's kind of quite hermit energy, but very watery though. Let's see what else. Normally I'd start with the Sacred Forest, and for you I started with the Believe Your Own Magic. I haven't done that for all the rest of the signs. Trust. How interesting. Ah, so this has hermit energy as well, because it's that cave, isn't it? I do often think of the hermit as going into a cave. Hi, Betty. Yeah. There might be something in this card that speaks to you directly. It's number 9. Number 9 is the card of the hermit. The number of the hermit. Yeah, I know, Betty. So, like I say, a lot of you might have been doing quite a lot of work, sort of internally on yourself. In a sense, though, I'm getting the idea that you are ready to step out of this cave, and that sort of lines up with the astrology as well. I think once Mercury's in retrograde at the moment as we speak. That finishes on June the 5th, and then after that there's probably still a bit of a period where we're in those energies, but after that I can see you coming out of your cave, and I guess this is what comes after you've come out your cave, in a sense, actually. You voyage within and then you voyage without, as it were. Yeah, I mean, the cat's been really helpful here, I've got to say. Ah, Betty, working around you is fun. It's just Scorpio and you, Cancer, that's had Betty in their readings this month, I'm fairly sure. There's something here about trusting your intuition. We've got an amethyst crystal, an amethyst tower. Some of you might be developing your psychic ability. I mean, we've got the crystal ball, but amethyst and the colour purple is a stone that speaks to me of kind of what you could call it intuition, you could call it psychic ability though as well. It very much reminds me of the High Priestess card in the Wild Unknown deck, this card. And the High Priestess is known for being kind of a card of intuition and psychic ability, which that particular card also has this kind of crystal ball featured and a lot of purple in it, so yeah. There's a peacock in the card. I'm going to ignore it. I don't like peacocks. Come on, darling. Can you just go down there for me? Yeah. I haven't ignored it, have I? Because I've just mentioned it. Hey, what do peacocks mean to you? Most people love them. That's just something that's been passed down to me by my grandmother. So why am I saying this? I don't know. Everything I say in the reading comes up for a reason. They don't want to see your bum, Betty. They don't want to see it. I don't know. Some of you might have been sort of doing work with your ancestors, communicating with your ancestors. For that peacock to be hitting me in the face like that. Because it does, even though for me it's not a positive thing, it does remind me of my grandma. So I don't know if, yeah, some of you might be working with ancestors. Let's get you some tarot anyway, my lovelies. What does Cancer need to know for the Queen of Cups? I mean, the Queen of Cups is kind of as psychic as the High Priestess to me. So I love it that the Queen of Cups has just come up after what we were saying about the High Priestess. I love it. And it's a very Cancer card anyway. You know... Cups is all about emotions, and you know the court cards sort of represent a particular sort of relationship to that particular suit. So the Queen, you know, she's Queen of Cups, she's very nurturing. I know I get the King of Cups a lot for you actually, don't I, Cancer? So this Queen is looking, you know, to the left rather than looking more outward like the King often does, if I remember correctly. So I feel you directing this kind of nurturing energy more inwards than perhaps you have been doing, because often with you guys I get this kind of mediator energy where you're so like taking everybody else's feelings into consideration all the time. Now I see you balancing that with your own feelings and needs, and especially because Strength has come out as well, and Strength is a card of compassion, and I just feel you putting this compassion towards yourself, realizing your own value. Yeah, but you know, like realizing you have the own answers for yourself, but also to a certain extent like other people have the answers that they need as well, and that actually it's not your job to provide them. Betty's going off on one. King of Swords. Ah, okay. Quite logical. It came out on its side. I want to clarify that. It kind of was heading towards being reversed. So this can... yeah, I know why it's on its side, because you're doubting yourself. Everything I just spoke about. I wonder if... this turning of this energy towards yourself, it's left you a bit doubting yourself, like, oh my god, am I being really harsh on other people? Like, it probably means you've been putting boundaries in place. And you see the King of Swords, it didn't come out properly reversed, but when the King of Swords is reversed, the King of Swords can be quite ruthless, brutal, unkind even. And I get the feeling that you're worrying to a certain extent, like, am I being really unkind? Because it feels a bit unfamiliar to you, I feel, to focus this energy in on yourself. You're like, my God, am I being really harsh? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. But what you think is what's important. I think it's very... Yes, some people might be telling you even that you're being really harsh, or reacting to you like you're being harsh. Maybe you're showing a side of yourself that you've not shown to them before. I mean, it's all about balance, isn't it? But Three of Swords in reverse. So you could be moving on from a betrayal of some sort, a breakup of some sort. That's the card upright. It's come out in reversed. Yeah, I do feel you moving on from this energy of betrayal and heartbreak. And I feel you doing it with a lot of compassion and love towards yourself. Let's see. I'm not sure that card wants to come out or not. Nine of Wands. Yeah, you've been hurt. The character in the Nine of Wands has been hurt. And he is learning about boundaries. It fits in with everything else I've said. You see, I feel like these wands here, it kind of represents a sort of fence, a sort of boundary. But you can see from the look on his face, he's a bit unsure. He's a bit unsure about his fence. He's a bit unsure about his boundaries. You know. Are they too high? Are they... do they keep too much out, or do they let too much in? I feel you're in a bit of a conversation with yourself about your boundaries and where to put them. And I feel like sometimes you're telling yourself your boundaries are too kind of high, too harsh, too unkind towards other people. And then sometimes you're telling yourself, oh my God, I'm a total pushover. I feel like you're flitting between these two. And it is, I suppose, you know, it's about balance. And I don't know your life, and I can't tell you the answers as such. It's sort of for us to find our own way. But, you know, I feel you're doing a lot of thinking about it. And in a sense, the amount of thinking I see you doing about it, you've got two swords cards, and this feels quite... Even this Wands card feels quite... I mean, look at him. He's just like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Am I... feels like... I don't know, just the fact that you're putting that much thought into it suggests to me that it certainly suggests to me that you're not being unthinkingly unkind. You can't be, not if you're thinking this much about it. Do you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense to you. Yeah. I love how all these figures on these cards kind of mirror each other. There's a lot of looking inwards by the women in these cards here. A lot of self-compassion. I like it. I like it. And it might be leading other people to be like thinking, Cancer's started saying no to things that I didn't think they'd be saying no to. And yeah, maybe to them that feels unkind, but you have a right to say no, Cancer. You have that right. What else for Cancer for June, please? What else for Cancer for June? So this came out sideways, Temperance. Now, sort of crossing it was the Two of Swords. Oh, sorry, my throat's a bit scratchy. Why has Temperance come out sideways? It's about balance though, isn't it? Again, it's what I've already said about balance, and it's come out sideways. So this leads, whenever cards come out sideways for me, it's like a sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, is it this? Is it that? It sort of represents the viewer sort of not knowing. So it comes back to that balance, that balance around your boundaries that we've already spoke about. I'm just going to repeat myself if I go into it again. So, am I being too harsh, or am I being too selfish? Am I being unkind, or am I being a pushover? Sort of flitting between those two. And even with the Two of Swords, it's got that similar feeling, like internal deliberation. I feel you might get more clarity on this towards the end of the month, if I'm reading the phase of that moon right, which I think I am. Heading towards a new moon, that is. So that's like towards the end of June. I feel like something might be revealed to you that's going to give you clarity. Something that at the moment might be hidden from your view. We could pull a card to try and get more on that, but I can't make any promises, because if it's hidden from your view, maybe Spirit wants it to be hidden from your view. For now, I don't know. What might come in and give Cancer clarity? Seven of Cups. There's not much clarity in the Seven of Cups. And there we have another moon. Interesting. Well, I think that just tells me that now, because that's more where we're at with the moon now. Now there is somewhat some confusion. Certainly feels like there's some sort of opportunity for clarity towards the end of the month. What can we ask? Let's ask if there's any advice to help you gain clarity. Any advice to help Cancer see what's behind this blindfold. Any advice? The advice could be to wait. I don't know. 10 of Swords. I'm sure a card just fell on the floor. Mother of Wands. 10 of Swords. Sorry, it's the 9 of Swords. Well, the 9 of Swords is like going round and round in your head, anxiety, thinking, yeah. How much are you sleeping at the moment, Cancer? If you're not getting good sleep at the moment, it's easy for me to sit here and say, isn't it? And that's his advice I need to take myself. But if you're not getting much sleep at the moment, maybe think about routines and what you can build in to kind of help you get sleep, because I feel that detaching from I don't know, it feels like a focus on an outcome. It feels like you might be quite focused on what the outcome of something is going to be. I feel like you're being asked to kind of detach from that outcome, or at least recognise that thinking through all the possible different scenarios in your head, I don't know, it's sort of asking the question of how much does that serve you? And you know what, sometimes that does serve us, so I'm not going to tell you either way. Sometimes that does serve us, because actually it is our mind's way of preparing us for the worst outcome. But I would say also, maybe your mind could be used to prepare yourself for the best outcome as well. So do both. You know, if you're going to be that imaginative, maybe try and imagine in both directions. In both directions. Yeah. Because I do get the sense of overthinking. Possibly even nightmares are a feature of your life at the moment. And the Mother of Wands in this deck is a funny one. I just get the sense here, and this is not the usual Mother of Wands interpretation, but I just get the sense of you're being asked to think about like who to share your ideas with. Maybe keep your cards close to your chest if you want. But this is the suggestion from this card. Keep your cards close to your chest, because if you keep your cards close to your chest, then it can reduce this thinking of what possible outcome is going to be, because if it's just you that knows about it, then it's the sort of consequences of any outcomes feels like less of a big thing. So I think you're kind of being asked not to overshare, actually. Or I wouldn't say it that directly, because I hate giving advice, but just when you're sharing, just consider kind of why you're doing it, and if that serves you, and if it's going to possibly lead you to be more anxious and leads to thinking more of an emphasis on the outcome. But are you trying to prove yourself to someone? It could be that some of you are trying to prove yourself to someone, and you're like saying, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then it's like you're shitting yourself about doing it, because not only have you got your own expectations, you've got other people's expectations on you. Whereas if you keep your cards closer to your chest, then at least you're only working with your own expectations. So that's just something for us to consider. Use your own intuition. That might not be the case for all of you. It's just a question to ask. Because eventually you're going to come out of this energy of keeping it close to your chest, and you're going to want to show the world anyway. So for some of you, that might be the stage that you're at. Okay, so that's what Tarot's got for you. I'm going to pour you some fortune cookies to finish. Hope that made sense for you. Hope there's something in that for you. Let's see what the fortune cookies have got before we go. We're going to get one more. We are going to get one more. Right. Surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching. Nice. Society. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. Very nice. Challenges. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. There you have it, Cancer. I hope that made sense to you, my loves. Feel free to give the video a thumbs up if it did. It's just useful feedback for me, and also just helps get the readings out in front of more people. Probably. I don't know how YouTube algorithms work. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. It does help me pick up on your energy for next time as well. Alright, Cancer, I hope you have a lovely June, and yeah, it's been a pleasure pulling cards for you as always. I'll see you next time.